Hi there, I'm Angela, and today on the channel we're doing a Sew the Look. If that sounds interesting to you, then stay tuned. Hi there, a little bit of a background before we get into it and how this Sew the Look came to be. This past weekend, my husband and I celebrated our 17th wedding anniversary. And by the way, thanks to all of you guys for all the congratulations and the well wishes. I appreciate all the love, so thank you for that. Anyway, we did a weekend getaway, which sometimes we do on our anniversary, not every year, but sometimes we will. And one of our favorite places to go, either on our anniversary, which is in May, of course, or maybe in the fall when the leaves are turning and it's beautiful, is Brown County, Indiana. It's in the primarily southern part, I guess southern part of Indiana, you might say. We love it there so much. It's like a whole like arts and crafts community and like an artist vibe kind of feel there. All kinds of shops, good places to eat, and then there's the state park, which we love to hike in. But anyway, as we were exploring the village and doing just a little bit of shopping, primarily I was doing a little bit of shopping, I came across several dresses that I thought were very pretty, and I thought, I should check on the try it on, see how much it costs. But I was trying to be very budget conscious just with my job change a couple of months ago. We're still trying to figure out like the finances and get that kind of stabilized a little bit with all the changes. So I just like totally didn't even try the dresses on. They were kind of hanging on the outside of some of the shops. So I just looked and I thought I'll take a picture of it and think about it overnight. And if the next day or someday, like at one point before we leave to come back home, I decide I want to go ahead and maybe look into getting a dress, then I'll go try it on, find out the price and everything like that. So I did not end up doing that. I was pretty good, very mindful with my shopping. So, which is saying something in a place like Brown County because there's so many artist shops and it runs the gamut from clothing boutiques, art galleries, soap makers. There's all kinds of artisans there. So anything you want, if it can be handmade, leather goods, anything, you could find it there. So given that, I did really good with my shopping and kind of keeping that in check. So anyway, what I thought might be fun is to take a picture of a couple of those dresses and then do like a sew the look where we find a pattern that could kind of imitate that dress and then find fabrics that could do the same. So that's what we're doing today, and I'll go ahead and pop a picture up here of the dress that we are going to, like our target dress today. So give me one sec for that. So I thought this dress was so feminine and floral, very spring and summery, so pretty. And most of my clothes tend to be like on the darker, so like this burgundy, like a darker green. And I don't tend to wear like the bright florals so much, but I would really like to change that. And I thought, well, whether or not I ever actually make a duplicate dress of this, it would be really fun to find like a good pattern that I could do that and fabrics that I could use to make the dress. So as I got to looking through patterns online and trying to nail down what would be like a really good duplicate pattern to kind of imitate this dress, it occurred to me that on the last Simplicity sale at Joann's that I actually went to and bought patterns, I just bought one pattern, and I think that's the perfect pattern. I got to thinking about it and I looked at it, and it's not like an exact copy of the Target dress, but I feel like it could be a really close one. So I'll go ahead and pop a picture of the pattern right here and the pattern number as well. Yeah, what do you guys think? I think that it would work out beautifully. So let's look at the pattern a little bit more closely. It is Simplicity S8875. It does have some length options and some sleeve options, like a number of sleeve options. And it has more of a straight skirt there, and then it also has the little flounce at the bottom. Let's look at the line drawings, which will help us see it a little bit better. So I feel like that if we did one of the longer versions with these little cap sleeves there, that it could be a really close second to our Target dress. Even though the Target, I keep calling it a Target dress. I don't know if that's a good word or not, the model dress. Even though it doesn't have like that lower flounce, I don't think that really matters. I think that this would get us real close to the look and the feel of the dress overall. So I didn't look any further once I realized that I had a pattern already that could duplicate that dress pretty well. Give us the same feeling, the same overall look. Yeah, so then the next thing I did was start hunting for fabrics online. And is there any better way to spend an afternoon than online fabric shopping, even if it's online window fabric shopping? So let's take a look at some of the fabrics that I found. And for this, I'm going to go ahead and just pop pictures of the fabrics on the screen, and I'll just talk over those. So give me 1 second to set that up, and I'll be right back. So I really was not able to find an exact match for the fabric, but I did find some prints that came really close. And the whole goal, I think, is not to exactly duplicate that dress, but just to kind of get a close approximation, just something that gives us that same spirit of the dress and general look of the dress. So the first one is a fabric that I found on Etsy, and it's by a shop called Mayan Treasure Textiles. I've never purchased from this shop before, although I have bought fabric from Etsy. This is a challis, it's a rayon challis, and it's sort of a mint background with mostly orange flowers and some like corally pink kind of flowers. So I thought that looked pretty close. Yeah, that's pretty close. This may or may not be the fabric I would go with. Let's keep looking. By the way, I will put links to all of these fabrics in the description notes below. So if you were interested, you could easily find them, and just to give appropriate accreditation for the pictures that I'm using. The second fabric was one I found on fabric.com, and this is also a rayon challis by Cotton and Steel Rifle Paper Company. And here are a couple of pictures of this one. Once again, it has that seafoam mint kind of greenish color background, and this one also does have orange flowers rather than the red. I think it's a pretty good approximation. I think that could look really beautiful with our pattern. This next one I think might be the one that I found closest match to our Target dress. And this is a rayon crepe from Stylemaker Fabrics. It's pretty close as far as the colors, and with those red roses and that mintish green, this is maybe a little more of a bluish background, but it's really, really a good match, I think. Yeah, so this is a large-scale garden bouquet rayon crepe in aqua, again from Stylemaker Fabrics. Now, having shown you all those gorgeous fabrics, I have to say that I think that none of those fabrics are in like my color palette. If I wanted to stick to that, that doesn't always stop me from getting a fabric. If I love something, I'm going to get it whether it falls into my color palette or not. But since I am trying to veer more towards fabrics that are in my palette and therefore a little more flattering for me, I did go ahead and look at some other fabrics that have the same like floral to them, the same feel, but the coloring is more suited to me. So if you guys are interested in that, let's take a look at those now. So this first one is by Mood Fabrics. It is a viscose dobby, and it does say it has metallic pinstripes in it, and I guess zooming in I can kind of see that. This shade of green is totally in my color palette, and it's a good thing for me because I love green. Yeah, so this one could work. It's not the large scale floral that we were shooting for. I did have a little bit of trouble finding a large scale floral print that was in my color palette. Most of those tend to be either pastels with bright flowers, or there's too stark of a change up between the colors when I'm supposed to stick with like a soft palette and not like striking contrast. And I use supposed to pretty loosely. The next one is also from Mood Fabrics, and this is a viscose woven. It's called Green Organic Orchids, Sustainable Viscose, so that's good to see. And taking another look at this. So this one does have more of the large scale floral, and I think this would probably be the one I would choose if I were making this dress and I wanted a floral fabric, like a large scale floral fabric. The other one that I found is from Blackbird Fabrics. I've not ordered from Blackbird Fabrics in the past, although I do window shop their site quite often, love their fabrics. Never ordered from them, at least not yet. This one is called Sketchbook Floral Viscose Crepe in Sage and Pink. So I love these colors, and I think mostly they fall in my color palette. Maybe that bright corally pink orange doesn't, but the rest of them do, so I think it could work. It is more of it's a smaller floral rather than a large print. I think it would still be beautiful on our dress though. So that's my sew the look this time. I thought that was pretty fun to do as sort of like a post-vacation exercise with one of the dresses in the boutiques that I saw but yet chose not to buy. Why not make it with a pattern I already have and get to choose the perfect fabric for me? So I thought that was fun. What did you guys think? Do you guys ever do that? If you see something you like, then try to mimic it with a pattern and find just the right fabric. It's pretty fun. Even if I never end up making this combination of this pattern with any of these fabrics, it was still like a fun exercise and a nice way to spend a relaxing afternoon when I was recuperating from our trip. So that's pretty much all I have for you today. I hope you'll come back this weekend for Friday Sews. Given that I'm still mentally and physically recovering from our little mini vacation, and also still trying to get the garden going and wrapping that up by the second week of June, it'll pretty much be like not need my hands on it so much. So trying to catch up from that. Also, I'm working a little bit extra at work this week, so I'm really not even sure if I'll have more sewing to share for you guys. So it might be a lot of life on Friday Sews and less sewing. So just a heads up on that. I do hope to get my blue and pink flowery dress finished by the end of May, and I realize I'm cutting it down to the wire. Pretty sure I'll finish it over the weekend. We'll see. Sometimes life just, has its own idea of what we should be doing. It's okay. It'll all happen in good time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope to see you for Friday Sews. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it so much. And until then, bye.